Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for coming to our volunteer orientation. We want to say a very big thank you to all of you who decided to volunteer with Zaza Development Initiative. It is great to have you here. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. Please do well to write your name. Let's know where you're joining in from in the comments. Let's know where you're joining in from. Do indulge us, please. Let's see. You could write your name, write your location. Let's just get to interact with each other. And please, if you have a comment, a question, um, an during the conversation, please let's know. Just let us know so that we would um, address it in the course of our conversation. Thank you so much again for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. Please, I can see some of us are already online. However, I don't see your names. Please drop your names, drop your locations, drop your names, drop your locations so that we can interact. Thank you so much. Um, all right. My name is Zugwai. My name is Zugwai Tagwai. I am the custodian of Zaza Development Initiative, or what you call a founder. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to meet all of you. And I decided to um, make this happen because it's very important that for as many people who have seen our work, for as many people who are interested in being a part of our journey and being a part of the amazing work that we're doing here, people understand what we're actually doing, and people also understand how they tie into the work that we're doing. So please, um, you're welcome again, and we look forward to getting to know all of you. Takama Pius from Kafajan, thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining in. It's exciting to have you here, and I hope that we'll have a great time through our conversation. If we would just quickly also write what our expectation from this gathering is in the chat box, I would be happy. Please, what's your expectation? What do you expect from either this orientation session or your journey as a volunteer generally with us? We would like to know that also. It's very important to understand where we're coming from, what our expectations are, so that at the end of the day, we would be able to measure our impact and also see if truly where or the purpose for which we decided to be a part of this has been accomplished or not, if we should continue to be a part of this or not. As much as we love that you're here, we're also very particular about people being here because they have value that they expect to get, and they also have value to give. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Salem, for joining us. Thank you, Pius Yakunat, for joining us. I can see you, and I'm excited that you're here. All right. So I will just jump straight into our conversation for today because, again, we respect your time, and we hope that we're able to finish this in good time and get your feedbacks um, before we carry on, before we go ahead with what we're doing for the rest of the day. So I would be sharing my screen. You could let me know if you can see my screen in the chat once I start to share it. Um, okay, screen is coming up. Give me a minute. Awesome. Okay, okay, okay. Mm, 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 mm. Sorry, our screen is still uploading, still uploading. But while, okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. Can we see my slide? Okay, I'm hoping that we can see the slide. So I will just carry on. Welcome again. We are excited that you're here. Our volunteers are very important to us, and you are a gift to the community, as we have said. Um, what is Zaza Development Initiative? Zaza Development Initiative, first of all, did not just start today or this year or last year. We started work over 10 years ago, 2015. And Zaza Development Initiative was an idea that came up as a result of my experience, personal experience during my service year in Benue State. It was my first time in Benue State in 2015. um, I was posted to Uba. It's in Lugo local government. It's a TIF part of Benue State. And when I went there, that was in 2013. It started in I served in 2013 in Benue State. And when I was posted to Uba, it was a very different community and environment from where I was coming from. I had lived almost all my life in Abuja, schooled in Jos, ABU, and so it was a different terrain. Uba is a very beautiful community. It's a small community. However, in order for me to get from Boko to Uba, that's coming from Makodi, we don't, if you need a very short cut and a very direct movement to Uba, you have to go through the waterway. When I say waterway, a very big stream, and we use a canoe. I'm talking about wood canoe, not any fancy boat. Wood canoe, you, the bus you are in, the car, everything climbs on the canoe, and then you use this generator engine to start the boat and you cross over. On getting to the village, I found out that they didn't have a single ATM in the community, no single bank. They didn't have what they call the pipe-borne water. Most of the supply they had for water was either well, or people who had the means had boreholes, but that wasn't so much also. And then there was that issue of drought, what they call it, flooding, sorry, because a lot of the villagers use these red bricks to build their houses, where they dig the sand from the ground, and very close to that stream, that's big, the extension of River Benue. They dig the ground, they mold those blocks, they fire it up, and then after digging it in the ground, they don't fill up the space. So a lot of times when the rain comes, and we know how heavy and how rain is in Benue State, it causes flooding and it affects the people, lives and properties. And I noticed that people were not, they were always victims, but then they did not do anything towards addressing those issues. Again, another thing we noticed was the fact that um, there was a lot of drug abuse, and amongst young people, there was also the issue of a lot of the students in school were not so conversant with English. They couldn't speak English properly. So the core members that were present there were always saying, "Oh, it was stressful teaching them. These ones are just failing. They don't know anything." But for me, it was more like, how would they know what you're teaching them if they can't understand you? We need to be able to go an extra mile to ensure that they actually understand what you're teaching you, so that they can give you the best. So, what did I do? I had no idea that there was anything like CDS group before I went for service. Because yes, I had people who were older than me that had served, but they didn't really participate in community development service in that manner, because they didn't serve in communities per se. So I wasn't exposed to that knowledge. But on getting to Uba, I found out that we had CDS groups. And the good thing about serving in a village was that, unlike the city where you are restricted to one CDS group and you had to always just, I had the opportunity to be in multiple CDS groups. And for me, it was something I really wanted. So I decided to join the Drug Free Club, the NDLEA, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, CDS group. I also decided to join NEMA Group, National Emergency Management Agency Group, and also the Federal Road Safety Corps Group, CDS Group. Why did I join these groups? Because first, remember I told you about the erosion problem. And aside the digging of the sand and also the firing of blocks without filling, there was also improper waste disposal. So what I decided to do was work with other core members that were willing to address these challenges to carry out sensitization. We'll carry banners, and then we also went to the NEMA office in Katinala, which was a more city-like um, community in Benue State, at least 2 hours from where we were. We went there, registered our presence, and told them what we're about to do and the fact that we're a CDS group under their initiative and we would love their support. So we got that permission to go to schools. We followed community schools, secondary schools, primary schools. We went to motor parks and also markets, telling them how to dispose their waste properly, telling them the fact that they need to fill in. We understand they need to build, but they need to fill in those places so that flooding, they won't be victims of flooding. For FRSC, there's what was going on in Uba community. From Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they usually have market days. And during those market days, a lot of trucks, cars coming from the east, the west, different places to come and buy foodstuffs and then take. And they drive very carelessly on the road. And when I say road, I'm not talking about wide express roads. I'm talking about streets, community streets. And it was a lot of danger for people. So we decided to work in collaboration with the road safety people. We wear their jackets and we control traffic. We control traffic during market days. For the drug law, NDLEA CDS group, we carried out sensitization on drug abuse and we partnered with the primary healthcare center in the community so that young people who were willing to get out of these addiction could come in and then go through proper withdrawal, counseling, and all. And why did I go back to this? Because this was how Zaza Development Initiative started. I didn't know when I was doing all of it. It's just because I saw a problem that I was not comfortable with. I saw young people like me who were going through a lot of challenges that really they had no business going through. And I knew that I could do something about it. I had the knowledge. Why not share? And I had other people around me who were willing to work with me. And that was how I built that burden to provide solutions. By the time I finished serving, I found that there was something like development space, civil society organizations, NGO, and what I was doing during service was called the community development. And the passion continued. And I decided whatever I was going to go into in terms of work had to be working with communities that really needed help and solutions. So service ended in 2014 and I just kept doing what I could. But by 2015, I started working in partnership with individuals and small communities to do work um, across different places. Now, the vision and mission of Zaza, the vision, the general big goal for us is to have an Africa that is be transformed through civic education, strategic mentorship, capacity building, and community engagement. At the end of the day, I want to see a sustainable Africa. When I say sustainable Africa, it's a lot. I know that it sounds a lot for us, but it's possible. I don't believe in impossibilities. I believe that when we all do our parts, wherever we are, however we can, whether by speaking, by acting, by supporting, by sharing, or by contributing our resources, strength, money, spaces, whatever it is, we will be able to achieve this. What is our mission? How do we intend to achieve this vision? By empowering young people, by empowering women, by empowering communities, advocating for issues that bother individuals and communities, and driving these issues until we see a positive change. And we cannot drive issues without empowering people capacity wise. You cannot bring about change when people don't know what exactly they're supposed to supposed to do, how they are supposed to do it, which is why we are also particular about trainings, mentorship, and capacity building, whether we're giving it directly or we're working with other people to ensure that this happens. We are not limited to just city centered. So, what we focus on is ensuring that whether it's small communities, neighborhoods, schools, states, local governments were there, and we cannot do it all on our own. We're very, very focused on partnership. So wherever you are, I in the chat box, I can see people from different places across Nigeria. Wherever you are, you can contribute, and we don't have to be there physically. That's the thing. We can always do what we can and leverage technology for our work. What's our objective? Providing, like I said, provide communities with the knowledge that they need to either participate in decision making, take action, amplify their voices, empower youth and women through guidance, support, mentorship, training, specific trainings, and even providing opportunities for them to leverage some trainings that we are not offering directly, but we know people who are offering. For some of us who have been on our network platform, we have a WhatsApp group that has been running for a while now. You would notice that we share opportunities for either jobs, training, scholarships, fellowships, and we tell you that if at any point of your application process or whatever process you need help or support, come to us. So these are things that we do. So cultivate innovation and responsible leaders who drive change, new ideas, where we don't want to always just stay with what has been done over the years. Do you have new ways we can do things? Have we been doing things the same way and they seem like they're not working? If you have something else we can try, let's try it. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work and we move again and co-create. So inclusive decision making policies, this is something that we're also particular about. Where what are our focus areas? Again, we believe that we are able to deliver effectively and efficiently when we're empowered. So we focus on women, girls, men, gender equality. For us, gender is not about just women. I know that a lot of times when we hear gender, some of us is just women. Gender is about both men and women's voices being heard, issues that affect the society. We say we are going through education problem or challenges in a particular community. How are boys affected separately? How are girls affected? If we're talking about issues of, let's say, violence, how are boys affected uniquely? How does it affect girls uniquely? How does it affect female or males? Even amongst the males, how does it affect grown men? How does it affect younger men? How does it affect older women? How does it affect younger women? These are things that we focus on. And then youth empowerment. You cannot, I am very focused on and keen about consistent learning. And that's something that drives Zaza. You notice that for those of us that have followed us over time, we have our mentorship series every month. We do not joke with it because we believe that you can never make any standard and credible decision without information. You can't speak properly on an issue that you do not know anything about. So, consistent learning, capacity building, and empowerment is very important for us. Whether you're looking for a job, whether you're looking for a fellowship, whether you're trying to um, get people to listen to you about particular issues, you need to be informed. How best do you get informed than going through trainings? Then elections, governance, and democracy. In all of this empowerment, we don't want to empower people and then they just go and sit down. Some of us, we are at every training, we are at every sensitization, we are at every gathering, we are working with 1,000 organizations. But if you ask us, what have you done with all the knowledge? Nothing. Your own is just to sign up and register for every activity, every event that is happening, but you do nothing with it. So we want a situation where for every time our network members, our volunteers join our training sessions or our engagements or work with our partners, they pay it forward. They implement whatever we're teaching them. they apply the knowledge they are gaining, and they actually take action. If you check our social media pages, our hashtags consistently for all our work: take action, active citizenship, leadership, and mentorship. We do not joke with that. So we believe that for every issue that we face in Nigeria, across Africa, in whatever community we are, if we do not engage in governance, it will never be addressed. And governance does not always mean national level, state level, local government level, community level, with your traditional leader, with your religious leader, with even your, what do they call it? Some of us live in some estates, mini estates. Your chairman of association. Some of us belong to some local associations, youth leaders. How do you engage your people to drive decision making? We want to be able to push that for through our initiative, our activities. How do we achieve all of these things? Like I said, we have our monthly mentorship series. We also work with IDPs. So why IDPs? A lot of times we do a lot of work as associations, NGOs, CSOs, and we forget that there are certain people that had a life that was either similar to ours or even way better. And all of a sudden, that life was changed because of something that was not properly addressed, either by us as individuals or by the government. Those are the internally displaced people. Do we even remember that those people exist as we live daily? Sometimes we are too focused on ourselves and we don't engage them. We're talking about education, we're talking about jobs, we're talking about violence, abuse, we're talking about health. Have you visited an IDP camp lately? Do you even know that some of these people don't have a single hospital 1 hour around them? They have to travel all the way. Some of them don't have schools. Some of them don't have even proper houses they stay in. Some of them, even within the camp, they suffer abuse. How do we reach out to them? So we reach out to IDP camps with welfare. When I say welfare packages, clothes, books, shoes, food items, and we do that through our partners. We do call for donations and we reach out. We also reach out to them through educational support, informal education. We don't have that structure to provide schools, build schools, and all, but we help with informal education how we can. Volunteers, that's where our volunteers and our partners come in. People who work in the education sector. We know that, and we realize and acknowledge the fact that we don't have it all. And that's something that we all as individuals and volunteers have to know. You don't have it all. So where we're lacking, like proper educational qualifications, we reach out to organizations that are into education or volunteers that know how to engage in academic trainings and all. And we say, could you spare us an hour or two to just come and engage, let's say people that are within primary school age or people that are within secondary school or university age, whichever one you want. Spare some hours a week, come and take them on whatever course you want, and let them just learn. Let them not have that gap just because they are disadvantaged. Employment opportunities, we help them to build capacity through trainings on employability skills, soft skills, hard skills, how they can prepare their CVs, review their CVs, how they can prepare cover letters, engage in interviews, what kind of jobs they can look for. The fact that they are IDPs does not mean they cannot apply for jobs even outside Nigeria or remote jobs. They might not have access to digital platforms, but we can always be there to be the connect between them and the opportunities that they need. They can also apply for fellowships and scholarships. Psychosocial support. We work with an organization that provides mental health support, which is psychosocial support. It's not for mad people. Psychosocial support is mental support because we know that people who go through things like internal displacement go through a lot of psychological issues in terms of, because imagine yourself in their shoes. You had a life, you were in school, maybe in university, you lived in the city. All of a sudden, you could be from Yobe, you could be from Kaduna. Kaduna people have faced, Plateau people have faced issues like that. Yobe people, Borno people, Adamawa, we've had people from Benue. We're still having issues like that. Imagine you staying in Makodi or in city center or having your life all together. All of a sudden, something happens. You are displaced. Your life changes within the twinkle of an eye. It's a lot of mental adjustment. So we provide psychosocial support in partnership with VentCorp and also dance therapy with SAM. So we believe that people need to also be mentally um, stable to be able to even engage in things like wanting a job, starting life all over, civic education, digital literacy. Our SDGs or the SDGs that we work around are 4, 5, 8, 10, 16, and 17. Remember, we're not fully vast in all these SDGs, but we also partner for all of this. So for SDGs, we're talking about decent work, we're talking about partnership, we're talking about um, peace building, we're talking about gender equality, equal opportunities, and all of that. So these are areas that we work in. We carry out trainings, advocacies, and mentorship. So our leadership mentorship series is very key for us in driving all of these because that is where we build capacity of people. And what stands our mentorship series out from other mentorship series that you may come across is the fact that we leverage our network across Africa. um I would show you something that we do at the end of the day. We leverage our network across Africa. So we invite mentors from different countries in Africa who are working in different areas, from governance to environment to what did they call it, agriculture, to tech, to health, whatever you can think of, we have them. And we do that because sometimes when we're in a particular space, we feel like we're this problem we're going through, we're the only ones going through it. But the same problem we're going through in Nigeria, across different states, are the same problems or similar problems that people across Africa go through. And if we are driving, if our vision is for a sustainable Africa, how about we share our experiences across Africa? How about we share knowledge? What has worked for us? What is not working? How can we work together, leverage these experiences and these strengths and weaknesses that we have to build forward? So that is why our mentorship series is very important. Um, what's our structure? We do not work without a structure. We have a board of trustees. Zaza Development Initiative is registered with the CAC, so it's a formal organization that is recognized legally. We have a board of trustees that provides strategic guidance for us, oversight, and serve as accountability partners for us. And then we have the executive director or the founder, which is myself. Um, I lead the organization and just try to see that operations go on. We have good partnerships. We have proper strategy put together to ensure sustainability. We have different departments, programs, administrative and operations. We have finance, we have communications, M&E, and then our volunteers. We do not have permanent staff structure for all programs that we run, which is why we leverage on our volunteers a lot. We have very few staff because, again, like I said, this is a personal drive that I came up with. So we also just leverage support from individuals and partnerships. So I hope we can all read through this, but let's just focus on our volunteers since that is what we're here for. Our volunteers provide support for all of our program all of our program areas. Um, all of our program areas, from programs to all of our structures, sorry, administration, monitoring, communications, and finance. If you notice, when we put out the call, we asked you what area. For some people, they even followed what we wrote. For some people, they added extra areas that they were good at. So I know that in our call we had social media, we had communication separately. We don't want to merge both because honestly they're actually two different things. Communications is engagement, more of PR, and then managing stakeholders, engagement, and all. While our social media are like content creators, engaging our social media pages, ensuring that the work that we're doing are put out, and then ensuring that we have good engagement. Our volunteers support our program implementation. Our volunteers support and assist with events, amplifying the work that we're doing, sharing our call for actions, and also providing expertise. We don't believe in just the people at the top structure giving insights. We believe that everybody's input is very important. So our volunteers also provide ideas for us. We cannot do it all. We need you to share with us how you think we can move forward, what you think works, especially because you all are in different locations. So what might work in Kano will not work in Sokoto. What works in Delta will not work in Ibadan. So even within Kano, what works in Dala will not work in Kano capital or Kano city. So these are things that we would like our volunteers to help with. Data protection. A lot of us, all of us here have shared our emails, our phone numbers, our locations, and all of those things. We are very keen. I'm sure that some of us didn't even think about it, but we are very keen about data protection because, again, we leverage digital structures for our engagements. We are using a digital structure now. Our trainings are digital, our mentorship series are digital, our WhatsApp group is digital. So, what are the digital structures that we use? We use password two-factor authentication for our profiles, our social media profiles, our LinkedIn, our Twitter, and also our WhatsApp group, encrypted communication, whatever data that we're storing in terms of our documentations of volunteers, our activities, and all our files, they are properly protected. Our antivirus is up to date so that all the mighty viruses do not attack and steal our information and all of that. And then we have very controlled access to information of our documents, only permitted and well evaluated um, persons have access to information. So your data is safe with us, and whatever communications we're having is also safe with us. Thank you very much. I would go through some of the media photos we have just so that you see some of our engagements. While you're on the call, you can also help us. This is our Twitter handle at Zaza Development. Our LinkedIn is Zaza Development Initiative. You can follow us, you can share with other people so that they just see the things that we're doing, stay updated, and get engaged also. Um, Please, if you have questions, you could just write them in the chat box. I am seeing our chat. So, to the activities that we've done, I just wanted us to see some of the things we've done. This first slide was our partnership. We partnered with I Am Change organization to carry out a civic engagement and civic education training in two parts. The first one was for young people. This first slide you're seeing. They carried out a fellowship for young people across the FCT, across no actually the northern region, North Central, I think. And they brought together a number of youth to understand what civic engagement was about, how they could participate in um active citizenship through policy advocacy, through community projects, through tracking of constituency projects, and all of that. And we were part of it. We provided trainings on advocacy, we provided trainings on civic engagement and community development. So you could see that we are very keen on partnership. For this second slide here, it was the African Liberation Week sometime last month. We participated. It was organized by WACSI, West African Civil Society Institute. It was virtual. We participated in that, shared our ideas on strengthening cross-border solidarity among CSOs for democratic building. So, how do we promote democracy with everything that is going on? You can testify that across African countries, a lot of oppression, a lot of citizens, abuse of violations of rights are going on. And it seems like really we're not practicing democracy. So, how do we uphold this democracy that we claim to practice across Africa? Again, this is how we're ensuring that that sustainable Africa that is our vision is achieved. So, for this fourth slide, before I go to this other one, this fourth slide is another training that we had for some of our network members. It was on self leadership, leadership across different spaces, whether you're an entrepreneur, you work in the civic space, or you're a public servant. How do you carry out self leadership and then lead others also? Then this other slide here that says alumni. So I am an alumni of I'm an alumni of Mandela Washington Fellowship, and one of the things that they do is to track some of the activities that fellows have done after the fellowship to see that truly have we learned, truly are we applying what we have learned. Remember when I said that sometimes some of us just attend trainings, and by the time we attend trainings we just keep signing up of so many trainings but we don't give back. So what they do is to ensure that when you actually go through this fellowship, you actually intentionally give back by carrying out projects or working with other people to impact the community that you belong to. So, one of the outreaches we carried out was at Wasa IDP, somewhere here in Abuja. After, if you are familiar with Abuja, it's after Apo Mechanic. It's a settlement way after Apo Mechanic. So we carried out that outreach where we took welfare materials to them and we engaged them just before Salah break. We took books and all of that. Um, it's a lot. We couldn't do so much because Wasa IDP camp is the biggest IDP camp in the FCT, over 7,000 IDPs. And like I said, we work on our own. We don't have any external support per se. So the donations that we even got were from individuals. We put out a call for clothes, for items. Um, we got a lot of donations in terms of clothing for males, females, women, older women, younger women, children. We got food flags for schools, water flags. We got books and all, and we took all of these things to the people, and they were very excited. These are some things that we do because we know that these are things that people actually need. So we got featured after putting out our report on our social media page. We got featured by the exchange alumni, the US consulates. So we're just telling you that no matter how little our work is, it's being seen and appreciated by people. So we've also engaged the next generation youth cohort to put together ideas for, this is not even Africa, this is across the globe, this particular one. They're sharing idea on how youth who are working in development can improve their work and ensure that there's better collaboration. And this was something that we did last month. We have this kind of conversations. You could, if you want to see an elaborated report on it or an elaborated post on it, you can check our Twitter or our LinkedIn page. So this is a photo of the team from Zaza Development at the IDP camp with some of the officials of the camp here. And this is like a brief of our reports that we shared. This was the first national dialogue that the House of Representatives carried out sometime in, I think, April or May, and we were part of it also, to ensure more inclusive governance in Nigeria, where citizens are able to share their ideas, are able to share their perspectives, and also able to track the activities of the House of Representatives in delivering to Nigerians. This is also our engagement with Leap Africa during their From Messaging to Action, leveraging storytelling. So we also try to continue learning as an initiative. How can we ensure that the work that we're doing is being seen, is being heard of, so that we can also get more partnership, more support, so that we can do more. So we also joined in to learn. This was the African Communications Week, and we joined this session so that we can learn from them. So these are flyers for our mentorship series, the mentorship series that we've had so far. This was for February, this was for March, this is April, this is May. The June flyer is out. However, it's out, and if you check our pages, you will see it. I didn't put it up here, but we have our June flyer already out. So this is the work we've done so far, and we're excited. We're very excited for you to join in our work, for you to share your ideas to help us move forward. I can see, okay. So, opportunities. I'm reading from our comments now. I've said the different areas that you can join in to push for the work that we're doing, sharing your ideas, joining in our events, and also pushing forward and amplifying the work that we do. You can also join by by ensuring that other people know what we're doing so that they support us. For example, I remember some time ago, we when we started, we were trying to get partnership, and we reached out to a radio station in a state, in a community, so that they could be a part of our work by just, we were not even asking them to do a paid program. We proposed that we were going to carry out weekly trainings via radio, and it was going to be for free for their community people to learn from. And till today, they've not responded to us. And this is something that we're offering from for free, just so that people can partner with us. So, but well, these are some of the issues. These are some of the issues. We didn't get a feedback from them, and so we moved forward. So one way you could, if you know people who work maybe in radio stations, in radio houses that were willing to amplify our voices or invite us to speak on different areas of engagement that we are vast in, we can also leverage that. Again, we are very keen on capacity building and all of that. So that's something that we're able to do. Do we have questions, please? This is the end of the presentation, but we're very open to questions. We're very open to questions. You can please just um, ask questions that you have. Please check in the group. If you have questions, this is the time for questions. If you have ideas that you would want us to share with us, please, we're opened. The floor is opened. The floor is opened. Ideas you would want us to run with, um, how you think we can engage with your community, particularly, we're all for it. I don't see anything in the chat so far. How can we engage with your community specifically? Are there certain concerns you have that I have not responded to and you're hoping that I can respond to? Please let me know. Oh, but there's something that is in the pipeline. I don't want to share it yet, but we're hoping for good news. Hopefully, by the end of this week, we will share it with all our volunteers and our network members. But for now, it's still in the pipeline. So we have some things in the works also. So just so that you have that at the back of your mind. Please, one questions. I can see a number of people online, but this is the link to join the WhatsApp group. Our WhatsApp group, it's easier to get information that we pass. I've shared the link to join our WhatsApp group. Please drop your questions, drop your comments, drop your feedbacks, drop your ideas. I can't see question. Can we hear me though, so that it's not that? So this is our Twitter handle. You can also just, or our Twitter URL, you can follow our Twitter. This is for LinkedIn. You can also share. Please let me know so that we don't hope, we're hoping to finish this in good time so that, okay, while we're still waiting for you, I'm sharing something. This was our outreach to the Wasa IDP camp. Remember, I talked about me. So this was our outreach to the IDP camp. This is the IDP chair. This guy here is the IDP chairman. So these are some of the women. The men were seated there. This was our visit to the IDP camp. Um, you could see how excited they were. The papers they are holding in their hands, because of the number of people, we had to give them numbers. So we had to give them papers so that we would manage the crowd. When you come, you present your paper, we give you your item. You come, you present your paper, we give you your item. We couldn't do so much because we had limited, but at least a lot, everybody that came to that place got something. So we would still run another outreach soon. We would run another outreach very soon, and we would reach out to everybody to also help us amplify the call so that we'll get more support. We know that there are IDP for our outreaches is particularly IDP camps, not any other place. IDPs are outreaches, and also that this, but then every other program we give, this is in the office of the chairman and some of his officials. These are the team members that went to the IDP camp with us. We were 4 persons. Um, this was us after the. These are the team members that went with us that day. So I hope that we were able to see that. Okay. Thank you very much, Takama Pius. I hope that, please, did we see the this thing I shared? Did we see the IDP visit screen I shared? Please, in the chat box, did we see the IDP screen I shared? IDP visit. Okay, okay, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Takama Pius. Um, hmm, this is a very horrible issue we're having, and trust me, it's not just in your community right now; it's everywhere. However, the good thing is I have a group of people. For the society, I know that last week, yes, last week, actually last month, I started a conversation with a friend of mine. It was even a church. So I told you we work across different communities and different groups. A church actually reached out to me, a church in Nyanya, in Abuja. They wanted to engage the youth across Nyanya and the environment where their church was or where their church is on this issue of drug abuse. So they reached out to me because they saw the work that we're doing with Zaza and they needed somebody who was very vast in drug abuse issues and all of that, to help them with a street rally awareness they were carrying out. And I referred them to a friend of mine who is also a partner, who is not just someone who drives drug abuse initiative or against drives an issue against drug abuse, but has had that experience before and has come out of it and has over years built an organization, a very solid organization, and collaboration with partners across the government, the civil society, and also different states. So that's someone that, like I said, we have a lot of partners on ground that we will leverage on. So it's for us to just know what's the issue within your community, how can we come in, what do you want us to work with you to do, and we are there. So how can we address this issue of drug abuse and intoxicated drinks? We can have, if you're open to it, Sakama Pius, we can have a conversation. Let me just take this down. We can have a conversation on things, maybe time we can engage with you and a number of people in your community. What community are we focusing on for this particular drive, and when do we want it, and how do we want a virtual session? Do we want a street drive where we get on the street and we carry banners and speak about it? Do we want to visit a particular place? So that's something that we can do. And we can also engage in, maybe what did they call it? Engage a primary healthcare center like I did during service, or like we did during service, where they help with youth who are willing to actually get out of this in terms of withdrawal. Because the truth is, as individuals who are not specialists in these areas, we can't do it all by ourselves. So we need to partner with health facilities to also help, because during the period of withdrawal they really need proper health care. So that's something that we can work on. Thank you so much for this. I will definitely reach out to you for further conversations and reach out to the team at large. Thank you. Thank you, Pius Yakunat. You said mentorship and gender based violence. Okay. So we can also talk about that. Um, so what do you think will work best? Do you want a physical engagement for a particular set of people? Can we do a virtual training if you can't come? Can we do a virtual engagement where maybe we get what do they call it? Where we do something like this, you get a a place where everybody gathers and you project this meeting and we speak to them. We get special specialists or people who are experts in this area. We sit like this, they speak, a projection is carried out. They can gather in a church, in a school, and you project it with your screen and your laptop or something, and we talk to them. Do you want us to get on a radio station that is do a call through a radio station that is very well listened to within your community and speak about these issues? What do you want? Do you want us to do a monthly engagement? So that's something we can flesh out. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Parents Yakunat. So I will reach out to you on this, and the team will see how we can work around promoting and just addressing these issues. All right. Anybody else? Okay, please don't forget to, I don't want us to exceed our 1 hour. Don't forget to follow, to join the WhatsApp group. The link is there. That will help with easier communication. Don't forget to join the WhatsApp group. Don't forget to also follow our LinkedIn and our Twitter pages so that you're seeing updates. And just before we go, we have our mentorship series for this month coming up on Saturday. It's by 4 o'clock. If you've not registered, you can register so that you get the link to participate, or you can just get on our YouTube channel on that day, and you will also be able to engage. So yes, our mentorship series for June, sorry, is is on Saturday. You can register to participate, please. Feel free. You can register to participate. You can also share the link. One way we can also encourage our young people is when they join this mentorship series, they see other young people across Nigeria, across other African countries. Trust me, a lot of the mentors that we bring online are of our mentorship series are young people who are doing great work in the NGO space, in the civil service space, in their communities. They don't have two heads. They are like us. How are they doing it? We need to learn how they are doing it. We need to learn how we can connect with what they're doing. And we can do that by joining this series and just gaining knowledge and experience from them. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, everybody. I really, 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 really appreciate us joining this. You can also, for I know that we have very few people who joined this conversation today. However, you can just you're on YouTube now. You can just copy this YouTube link, this the link for this particular YouTube, share it on your group chat, share it on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on your WhatsApp status, share it on different net group chats that you are in. Share it so that other people can watch what this session we had, see what we do, share how they want us to engage with them, share how they can support us also, and we will see how we'll move this forward. I will be reaching out to us via our emails, via our phone numbers, and also via the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can like, you can share this, you can still leave your comments. We would be checking the comment sessions. After this, you can still leave your comments. You can subscribe so that you know when our next engagements are. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for staying. We really, really appreciate you. And we look forward to working with you. We will definitely flesh out this conversation about the communities on gender based violence, on mentorship, on drug abuse and intoxicated drinks or intoxicating drinks. It's something that is really, really becoming a problem in Nigeria today. And we may think it's just young people abusing drugs and drinking, but we can see how it's translating to young people or people on the street attacking people, killing people just so that they can get 1,000 naira to buy drugs, killing people just so they can get phone, killing people, entering people's houses, raping people. It's a lot of nonsense that is going on. In terms of mentorship, we need better citizens, we need better parents, we need better young people, better colleagues. We need people who are servant leaders, people who have integrity, people who are accountable, people who are transparent, people who are able to stand on their truth no matter what. And there is no better way than mentorship. Thank you very much again. We really, really appreciate you. And we welcome you again to our volunteer space. Please, our doors are open. You have our email, you have our phone number. You can always reach out to us at any point in time. We are available to engage with you. Have a very, very beautiful rest of the week, and we will see you soon. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you. See you soon. Thank you.
on miracles, counting miracles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't count them all. No matter how hard I try, you held me steady so I wouldn't give up. You opened doors that nobody could shut. I hope I never get over what you've done. I wanna live with an open heart. I wanna feel like I know who you are. I hope I never get over what you've done for me. Coincidence and it's not luck. I know it comes from above. That I got miracles on miracles. You can live.